Hi, my name is Anjani B Kuumar and welcome to my channel. Today, in the 10th episode of the Transformators, we are going to meet Aneeta Pankaj. Now, Aneeta is a global leader in the field of technology and operations, and currently she operates out of Dubai, leading the operations team for a large multinational corporation. Before that, she was working for Reliance Jio, for Sony, and for Steel Authority of India. And she has done a lot of roles in her career. She has changed her tracks. She has even gone in for a coaching certification. So she's a certified coach. She took a break from her career and did her executive MBA from Berkeley. So she has been someone who has really achieved tremendous success in her career, in her life, with all the hard work and determination that she has put behind that. She has been a part of my tribe, and at many points in time in her career, I have been her sounding board and I have supported her in this journey. So let's meet Aneeta and let's understand from her what has helped her in becoming so successful, what has worked for her, and what we all can learn from her journey. Hi, Aneeta. Thank you for being on my channel and being able to spend some time from your busy schedule. And I know how busy you are, but happy to have you on my channel. And I'm sure that, we'll be able to share a lot of interesting stuff from your success journey and which can be helpful to our viewers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity because, it is always a pleasure to share a journey which has been long, which has seen all the troughs and peaks of the graph. So it's very important that others, know this, learn something, and whatever, if they get inspired, well and fine. And, I think it'll be helpful for everyone, whoever sees this video.
No, that's
and
wonderful.
I think we have done a part of our journey together. So it's all the more interesting. It makes so much of sense.
Yes. Absolutely. And I've seen your journey very closely. And I've seen all the successes that you have achieved, so many things that you have done. And in fact, I was just introducing you to the viewers. And I was talking about, your some of the corporate assignments. And then, you went on to get certified as a coach, and then you did your MBA. So we'll talk about all that. But I think just to start, it'll be a great idea to just, take people through your journey, your successes, and what are some of the things that have helped you achieve this kind of success. I know one definitely is, determination and very hard work behind that. And that's always important. But it'll be a great idea to, hear directly from you.
Yeah, so, at the moment, after such a long journey, I would like to call myself as a digital and business operations executive. Started my journey after my electronics engineering with Steel Authority. So I think I have tasted public sector and then moved on to media industry. That time, from the coaching angle, yes, we say, stay in the same function. So I moved into IT and I was a little concerned about the change of industry, which from steel shifted to media. I was happy about the function continuity. And after that, I remained in the same industry, but I switched on the functions, right? Yeah. So it's what is your comfort level, how you want to move, how you pivot. So yes, I stayed in media industry. Sony was a long journey with you too. So Sony was around 12 years, and then Jio happened. That was around 2 years, and after that, Dubai happened, and it was Dubai. It was my educational journey. Once again, I did my executive MBA from Berkeley. I did my ICF certification executive coaching. I'm now a certified independent director. Yes, little bit all over the place, but yeah, never say die spirit, I must say. And now I'm heading content operations at Anuvu, which is in-flight entertainment at Dubai.
So that's wonderful. And what I pick up, Aneeta, from your journey is one, clearly the unconventional route that you have taken, right? Because not necessarily everybody, takes this kind of route, and there are a lot of risks involved at every stage. But as it is said that, if you don't take risk, you don't get the rewards. So I think, I'm so happy to see you sitting in your Dubai apartment and overlooking the marina, and people dream of this life, so I'm so happy that you have been able to achieve that. But
thank you.
but there is, obviously, there's great amount of effort that has gone into it, and I've personally seen that, so I compliment you for that. And because these days, sometimes there is always a desire to achieve a lot, but not necessarily that effort which goes behind it people realize and recognize that. So that's also, it's important for us to bring that out in front of people, right? So great. So as my channel is all about the power of learning, coaching, and how we can help people. And I personally am trying to at least in a way democratize the knowledge which is available. Whatever I know, I make it available on the channel. And being a coach yourself, what do you see? How do you see the value of coaching and learning in your life, in your career?
See, coaching is very important because I am myself a coach, and why I did it, how I did it. Of course, you were there during part of my Sony journey, but then, all our colleagues don't last with us. So, also, I would like to bring the difference between training and coaching.
Yes.
Training is something where you are imparting 5 solutions for the success, 3 solutions for digital transformation, 7 best steps to do this. But coaching is, you are connecting with someone on a personal level. Your journey and my journey, we both could be CEOs, will be completely different. Our conditions, our situations, our conditioning, even when we were kids, and my personal situation, professional situation, mindset, belief system, nothing will match. In fact, bringing a personal element here, I have a identical twin sister, and our trajectories are completely different. Yes. Both of us were, brought up in a similar atmosphere, and absolutely same everything. But then, there is a stark difference.
Yes.
So why? Because we think differently. Because we were, when we face situations, you reflect differently. So yes, coaching is that angle which makes you reflect, which helps you achieve your goals. And coaching, I think, I would say not everyone is coachable.
Correct.
So coaching is, you should be willing to accept, that change which is required. And I think this also helps. First is in the millennial population, like when I speak to my son, they feel confused because they had many things very easy. And suddenly when they hit the realities of life, they feel, oh my God, I was always a winner, or we were always taken care of, or, we were always. So yes, at that juncture, when they have to be shown the realities, which they have not learned through the normal process, which probably we learned. And then it also happens after the mid-level of profession, when again you see the realities.
Yes.
You hit a block, aspirations don't go down, but you go down.
Yeah.
Because it's a pyramid after all, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is where we start looking for help, we start looking for mentors, we start looking for coaching, and it really helps getting a third perspective, which is an objective perspective on what can happen and what can be your options and where you are faltering.
No, wonderful.
And ego. Yeah. So I think it is very, because I did at a later stage in life, and I think I did it based on your advice. So, for me, it was probably not, I wanted to take it as a profession, but I wanted to clear my own head.
Yes.
And it really helped.
Yeah.
It helped. Yeah.
No, that's wonderful. And what I always believe is, also showing people the real life examples in terms of, how at some point in time, some inputs were given to somebody and how really, they resulted in some benefits. And that's where, I want to, bring in here your personal experiences, because I know at various stages of your career also, we have been having a lot of conversation about, the further plan, career path, where one should move. So when you look back in the hindsight, do you feel that, they were useful, they really helped you in moving ahead?
Of course, in my introduction, I said that, my function and expertise was the same. I moved from a steel industry to media industry. It was a tectonic shift. Then probably based on your guidance, based on your coaching, based on your viewpoint, I moved from IT to post-production to broadcasting. Again, a tectonic shift in function, industry is the same. And that has continued to be my thread of growth so far. I think it happened in 2005, 2006. We are talking after 17 years. So that has stayed with me. And, again, I don't know what happens in the next few years. So yes, it does help. And also, I think as women executives, it is all the more.
Yes.
We have our own set of problems.
Yes.
In fact, when I was looking at your questions, you said that what are the key differentiators that made you successful? So I was trying to frame the answer when I told you in the beginning also, success is a very relative term.
Yeah.
And when we enter a corporate, we want to be the CEO. Probably I have told you this before that I wanted to be the CEO, right?
Yeah.
When you become a mother, you want the kids to do well. That is your success parameter. Yeah. When you are married, probably your husband is in the profession. You want both of them to be successful. So we are only increasing our greed, increasing the span. I will be successful, my husband has to be successful, my kids have to be successful. Next time I'm leading a team, they have to be successful. So, it is, success is how do you define success? Yeah. Is it for myself? Is it for others? And, when you are trying to negotiate all these things, there are so many sacrifices involved, but ultimately we are doing it for success equal to happiness.
Yeah.
There is no success without happiness.
True.
I can get a very huge title with a very big salary. Am I happy? If I'm not, that is not a success probably. So this is probably my journey at the end of my journey or towards this phase in journey, I would say that, But yes, it involves a lot of resilience, a lot of tenacity, a lot of courage, a lot of determination, a lot of nothing will happen, without that. A lot of learning and a lot of upgradation. So many certifications I took after quitting Sony. In fact, all my education happened after Sony, which I was already in half, I have finished half of my professional journey by then. So, you have to continuously invest in yourself. It doesn't work that otherwise.
No, in fact, one of the key things, and when I also work with people and you being one, it's very important to establish at some point in your career that what will take you to the next level, because otherwise you do well, but then you get stuck, you don't move further, and there has to be a breakthrough which has to be achieved, and that's very important for everybody to understand that what is the point where that breakthrough is required, what is the point where you need to pivot and you need to really figure out a sideways move for your career to go ahead. So that's important. And plus what also happens, and you must be seeing that, because in earlier days when probably we had started our careers, there would be companies who would take care of our careers, right? Your large companies. But today I think things have really changed, because one, obviously there is a attrition movement of people, and second companies also need you to immediately perform. They don't have time to probably they may send you for some training and all, but there is no real investment in career. And that's where I feel it's important for people to take charge of their own careers, find their mentors, find their support system outside the organization, and invest. It's a very normal thing, but that doesn't happen in India. And what do you think about this thought process?
Yes, West and India, definitely India has, for us, the support system is connected more with our community, our home, that is the mindset.
Yes.
So, our spouses,
yes.
So what is coaching? It is a sounding board.
Yeah.
So, but in India, because of the other elements which we stick to, we adhere to, we believe in, so there are too many sounding boards, too many advisors, too many people to give you advice. Probably you end up confused. You need coaching to clear up that confusion, for all you know. So in West, you are generally left alone, and they are more individualistic. They believe in themselves. and they are so those things are valued. In India, that thing is not valued as yet, or maybe it's still in the process. So yes, West is, but we are seeing the results also in West, right?
Yeah.
It's performing. Having said that, yes, I'm too proud that Indians are doing well there.
Yeah. because when they move there, they develop that mindset. Yeah.
That mindset, yes. So you can't write them off. That but because I would say that Indians have more, as I said, they have more resilience, more tenacity, more courage, more determination, because again, the hardening which we have during our earlier years, because of the conditions in which we were brought, I think that has helped. We can manage ourselves anywhere. It's much easier.
Even here, the trend is changing, because now, I've seen a lot of people, especially in metros, they are investing a lot in themselves.
Yes.
Like for you also, I'm sure, when you decided to do your MBA and certification, you have spent huge amount of money for that, right?
Yes.
So that's a clear investment, right? And there are a lot of people who are doing it now because they have understood the value of it, right?
It was actually, I spent a huge amount of money. I did a straight calculation. It's a business, right? How much I'm investing and how much should I get?
Yes.
So because if you're not investing, you will slip into your comfort level that fine, it's okay, whatever may happen, chalta hai attitude will happen.
Yes.
So in this case, if I may have invested something, I will keep on running after an ROI. So it was a commitment to myself.
Yes.
What after this?
Yes.
Huge commitment, because that is the time when I was moving to Dubai. And and that moving to Dubai after being a vice president multimedia in Jio was a very, very tough decision. Of course, that is where probably my own personal coaching helped, because this is, as you rightly said, that you're seeing me in Dubai. What do you work for? You work hard to be in a nice place, to travel to. I mean, this is still a certain level. The material aspect matters.
Yeah.
It mattered, okay, till a certain after that, I didn't get a job. So that also mattered, right?
Yeah,
it didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. So yes, I thought that, all that I'm aspiring is to be somewhere, to travel to these places. So why not, if I'm getting an opportunity, stay? But having said that, I knew that Dubai is not going to be easy. It's a Middle Eastern sector with, the Arabic population and media. So I did this Berkeley MBA. And if I can quote a figure, it was 25 lakhs. It was no joke.
Yeah.
No joke. I would spend like this in my son's or daughter's graduation.
Yes.
So 25 lakhs, you can imagine what commitment I have given to myself to earn back, right?
Yes.
It was it was a well calculated risk, huge risk. You're putting your life's earnings in there. And I learned Arabic. I had never driven a car. I always had a chauffeur in a car. I because in UAE, driving license is a big thing. So I learned car. I failed 10 times and spent an equal amount of money in, taking the driving lessons. I got my license. So yes, in short, my preparation was huge.
Yes.
And still it didn't work.
Yeah.
It's not that it's, the strategy didn't work.
It took time.
It took time.
Yeah.
So it's you cannot say that. So you have to be patient also. While we are talking of courage, tenacity, determination, the patience is something which is very tough, because there's so many things, doing the course, learning this, they were all in my hands. Getting a job, yes, trying was in my hand. But, the other party looking for me was not in my hand, right? So, yeah. So you have to create your own luck. It's not that easy.
Absolutely. So tell me, from a perspective of, people who are watching and professionals who have a desire to reach that CXO level, and I always tell them that, target for that 8-figure salary, because that will keep you excited, motivated, because we all know that
absolutely
money can solve all the problems. That's a reality.
So many.
Yeah. So what's your advice to these people from a perspective that, right from the beginning, how they can use the power of, coaching in this whole process?
See, one is that I would say don't wait for too long. Sometimes we we tend to, when we have entered a profession and then we are trying to settle in life, sometimes we tend to wait for too long for things to happen to us.
Yeah.
For, sometimes destiny to turn in our favor.
Yeah.
So I guess, while I was saying one need to be patient with one's efforts, but then there has to be that restlessness always there to look for your next step. That is very important. So maybe things happen if people get, supportive bosses, or, there are always, we cannot take all the, I have risen because there were so many people batting for me, in my career, in my office. And when they stop batting, you don't rise also. So, it's like that. So, we have to have the support, but that support always doesn't happen. So show that restlessness, try to move careers, try to have a lateral movement. And here, when this option happens, that is the time coaching comes. When do we need coaching? When we are confused, what should be our next step? How to go about it? Sometimes, even if I've heard so many people coming to me that I'm looking for a job, but I have no idea how to start. Who responds on LinkedIn? Nobody does.
Yeah.
Search partners, they are the worst people. Yeah. Then search partners have their own well-defined parameters. I don't know who has defined them, but they have. While not necessarily the hiring manager will have the same parameters. Yeah. Again, it's not only changing jobs, because I've changed jobs. I'm talking in people in their own career, boss changes, colleagues change. So these things happen. When people these days, we have married couples, both are working. One person shifts, other person doesn't shift. Relocation happens. Yeah. So all these problems are the confusion is much more than what it was before. This is not a set life. Yeah. So how do you manage those situations? I think coaching it's really good to have the third perspective, to have a sounding board, to have a matured person. Give your problems to a third person. It's not to God, but give your person who has seen life, and who will probably come up with a. Also, when we are going through our own set of problems, we are in a weird emotional state where the logic doesn't work. It fails to work at times. So that is also very important. So and coach also, it is like an advisor who was through with you during that period for 6 months. It's not a one-term session, or that suddenly you have got that enlightenment and wow. Things don't turn around like that. We all know it takes a while. So why not?
No, and that's what sometimes, so just few days back, there was a gentleman, who was requesting me if I can coach him. And I said, why do you want me to coach you? And he said, I basically want to get a good job. I said, I cannot help in that process, because coaching is not to get you a job. That's where, there are a lot of misconceptions also around coaching in terms of, the way people see it. And I think it's a beautiful process where, you have a sounding board available to you. I think that's how one should look at it. And you realize the value of it only when you hit a hurdle in your life. That's how typically it goes.
Absolutely. But you will face that hurdle sooner or later. It's a part of life. Coaching has a very big value in terms of business. We are trying to change the numbers. Yeah. That is the time. Group coaching, individual coaching, there are blockers. People don't talk about it, because even in a corporate, we all have to be politically correct. When you're politically correct, you are not even the feedback is deemed as judged. So in that case, third party coaching is very, very effective, and it can simply change many the way things were working, or the methods that people have been following. Because
in fact, I think since you brought up this business aspect of it, and I remember a few years back, I worked with a large corporation, and they requested me if I can work with their complete sales teams across India, some 19 top people, and I worked with them for 1.5 years, and actually in 1.5 years, they doubled their sales.
My God, see,
that's the power of it, because they internally they never understood where they are stuck, and when you open them up to get somebody else to tell them where they are stuck, I think things change magically. So I think thanks for bringing this point up, because it has a huge power from a business perspective also. That's great. Perfect. So I think just to conclude, Aneeta, if you have to leave all the viewers with 3 things that you feel would help them achieve some amazing success in their careers and life, and based on your personal journey, what are those 3 things that you would like to tell them?
Yeah, I actually made a note of it, because
okay.
this is very important.
Yeah.
So one is, yes, you have to start with believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have ambitions, if you don't have aspirations, there is no point coaching or getting into something, or you are not looking for that rise.
Yeah.
Even if because all of us read biographies, we my son was a big fan of Tendulkar and so many people, but what they must have gone through.
Yes.
So we don't realize what was what is these days. I think interviews of Abhinav Bindra is coming. So what people have gone through. Just try to get into the skin, and you will understand. And for that, you have to believe in yourself that yes, I can also do it. Maybe coaching is a support. Bosses are support, colleagues are support, but then ultimately I am the one who has to move ahead.
Yeah.
So I have to believe in myself.
Yes.
So I think that is very important. And also the next point which I feel is that we should know our performance will not always be the best. Sometimes we are, there are so many forces acting upon us where, we are not in control of things. So the peaks will always not be there. And that is the time coaching will help.
Yes.
We are confused, we feel lost.
Yeah.
So take the help of a professional coach, no problem.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed about it. Just say that, it's not working.
Yeah.
I don't know what's not working. Numbers are not happening. My life is not working. My promotion is not happening. Just accept it.
Yeah.
And here I will try to, I'm trying to be very upfront on this. When I was looking for a job in Dubai, I was, Anjani, before Geo, I never looked for a job, it happened. So to start the process of asking somebody, do you have jobs? It's so embarrassing. It's not easy. It's not easy to make that first step.
Yeah.
So I used to ask how to ask.
Yes.
How can you look for a job? How do you do that? Can you ask, is it, will they feel that? And this, I have been mentors to working women. So I have realized that this is a very common problem. So the other party would tell me, you need it. So ask for it. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
It's okay to ask.
It's okay to ask because you need it, so it's your, so this is where, the coaching also helps, because it was my belief system. Asking for a job is something very menial. It is bringing myself down. It is, trying, it talks about my incapability. So many things which are in our head.
Yeah.
Probably it's a failure point. It's not a success point. So, so it's okay. I mean, what these days it's going around, right? It's okay not to be okay. So it's okay to get a coach.
Yeah.
So get a coach, take help. So I think that's important, because sometimes we are very embarrassed to talk about unique situations also. And also, as I said, search partners, they have very unusual parameters, why the gap was there. Nobody is, wondering or even asking that you were taking care of, an ill parent at that time. Or there's so many things which are realities of life.
Yeah.
So that is, you cannot make your new boss or new company your sounding board.
Yeah. True.
So, so you need coach. And also, I think this is probably here what I'm saying is, don't compare success parameters with that of others. Please don't compare yourself with others. We all have our unique journeys. And I think we should always be proud of whatever we are putting in after we have done our best, after we have shown our determination, only after all those things you have tried to achieve. And still, if you were not your best, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because maybe other successes were their journeys, and our successes is, it's our own journey. So please don't compare yourself with anyone else. So again, I as my closing line, I'll say we get to live only once. So some of us, we barely live because we are trying to achieve something, running after something. So at least live and at least be happy. Ultimately, yes, if I become a CEO, I'll be happy. Who knows? Who knows?
No, absolutely. And I think very, very rightly said, because each journey is unique. Each journey needs to be planned differently. Each journey needs to be, taken differently, lived differently, and it will take you to a different destination also, right? And that's the beauty of it, and that's where I think even your mentors, your coaches help you realize this, because otherwise corporates are rat races. It's you're just running, and that's the sad part. And it's a pyramid. Space is less. You are falling by the side, and that's where you feel miserable, and that's we have to come out of this whole thing, right? And that's where it needs to be understood that you are unique, your abilities are unique, and you can achieve unique things. I think that's beautifully put. So thank you for bringing that out, and I'm sure the viewers would have really benefited from this conversation. And and the beauty of your journey is that it has been full of struggles, and still you have been able to do so much, achieve so much, reach where you are today. So that really shows the power of determination and finally hard work that has taken you there. So I really compliment you for that, and thank you for taking out time to be on this conversation, on this episode. And thank you again, once again, and I'm sure viewers would have really benefited from this chat.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure being with you.
So I'm sure you would have found this conversation useful, and you would have picked up some interesting facts about Aneeta's journey and what can be used in your personal success journey. What are your learnings that you can also go and apply? So if you have liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with family and friends. And if you have any questions, any doubts, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll answer them personally. And now I'll see you in the next video. Till then, thank you very much for watching.